Kidnapped, walking the scene with you in old flicks from the 90s. So keen, the VHS Club, they're the talk of the town. Breaking it down, spreading nostalgia all around. Moving and grooving to the synth-pop sound. The inside so fresh, painting pictures profound. From Pulp Fiction to Clueless, they know it all. The genuine love for movies stands tall. Unfolding memories on that VHS screen, talking about classics like you've never seen. Katie with her charm, Matt with that wit. Together they make the VHS Club legit.
Bless you. If it looked like you're about to sneeze. Are you about to sneeze?
I really am holding it in.
Let's all take a moment while we have Amadeus stuck in our heads and allow Nat to sneeze. No, just kidding.
I just now realized, sneeze aside, because I don't think it's coming yet.
Okay, all right. We're ready for it.
That Rock Me Amadeus by Falco. Falco is also Austrian.
Oh,
Like Mozart.
fabulous. Well, okay, first off, welcome back to the VHS Club. We are episode 99, so we're real comfy at this point. We're just going right in. We're just going right into Amadeus today. So when watching this movie, I was like all like super excited, and I blocked myself off a bunch of time yesterday because it's a longer movie, and I sat down and I like it literally like the Rock Me Amadeus song like slapped me in the face like as I was starting the movie. I was like, it just like literally just flooded back at me. And then all day yesterday and all day today, it's just been like in the back of my head, it's just like Amadeus.
It's funny because you messaged me and you're like, is there a song that just goes Amadeus? And I'm like, yes, it's by Falco.
Yes. It's not in the movie though. So if you're brand new to this
number
movie,
one,
it's not in the movie.
No, it's just like top of the charts. It was like number one global hit 1986.
Yeah. Whether or not you are into this movie or are at all impressed by this episode, you should absolutely YouTube search Rock Me Amadeus and just enjoy the ridiculousness that is that music video. It's but it will
80s
never leave your soul. It's in here forever. So so for Josh, who hasn't seen Amadeus, go and watch that music video. And Paul has said that he has seen that one. Have you seen the movie and the music video? These are important questions.
Yes.
We need to know.
Growing up and going to the cottage, which we called camp.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't actually camp. It used to be camp before time.
Camp,
Very confusing. But anyways, the only VHS tape that we had up there, like among us, like among the households up there, was Amadeus. So my friend Michelle and I literally watched this every summer.
Perfect.
For like a significant portion of our lives.
It's a solid movie. Like if you're gonna burn out a VHS, like it's a good one to do. And I have to say, like, and this sounds like ridiculous because like the music in this movie is clearly classical music, but I'm like, this soundtrack banging. You need to have this soundtrack. Get it on vinyl if you're like me and are recollecting a bunch of vinyl. This is Yep. Welcome.
I have Mozart on vinyl, but I have tons of Mozart on vinyl, even wax records, but not this
Oh, come
soundtrack
on, Nat,
specifically.
the soundtrack. This is the soundtrack.
Wow.
This is the soundtrack. Well, I'm really excited to talk about this one.
Yeah.
I love that I was trying to figure out like a good description for this episode, and ChatGPT
Well, it's
was like wigs and
Mozart.
harpsichord, and I'm like wigs and harpsichord. We're in
Wigs and
wigs and
harpsichord.
harpsichord. Here we are. So
There are a lot of wigs,
there are a lot of wigs. There's even a pink wig.
Yes.
There are fabulous,
which is my
wigs.
favorite,
Yeah.
obviously.
Yeah. Well,
I
why
love
don't you
the
give
pink
us an actual description past wigs and harpsichords about what this movie is about?
Okay, so Amadeus is about Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart.
Mhm.
It's a biography about the real life composer and his struggles as growing up as a prodigy child into a genius adult, and his struggles with genius and love and money, basically.
I love that that's your description. I would have been like, it's a to the death rivalry where Salieri straight up murders Mozart. That's what this movie
He doesn't. He died from he had strep throat or something, didn't he?
Well, we're gonna
I
get
think he
into it.
died
Nat.
from strep
We're
throat.
we're gonna get into it. All right. So I love that you have memories. That must be nice. I don't actually remember at all when the first time it was that I saw this movie or how many times I've seen this movie. Definitely
But
a
you
few.
have.
I've definitely
Yeah,
seen it
yeah, yeah.
before. Definitely a few, but I can't remember the first time I saw it. But the second that you said that we need to do this one, I was like, oh, I love this movie. Like I just remembered how much I loved it, but remembered very little about it. So I got to go in with like fresh eyes, and I felt very excited by it. I love the rivalry in this, and I immediately was like, it's as Josh is saying, it's a rivalry for the ages. It immediately had
I
me.
mean, yes and no, because
Yeah.
a rivalry implies that two people are involved.
That's true.
Like
That's true.
Mozart
It's a
didn't know he
one-sided
was
rivalry.
a part of this rivalry. Like he was just so nice to everybody. He liked everybody. He just wanted to fit in with these Italian composers that were worked for the Emperor of Austria, of Vienna, in Vienna.
The
Anyways,
principal of Ferris Bueller's School. Yes.
yes, which was that threw me. I
did
didn't
throw me.
remember it was him
Yeah.
until like I started rewatching
Yeah,
it.
Jeffrey
this week, and
Jones
it's like,
plays
oh,
the Emperor in
yeah.
this, and all I could see was principal from Ferris Bueller. But yeah, it's.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess I had like this moment when the movie opens, and almost immediately you're introduced to Salieri, who is the rival, maybe not so rival of
In his
Mozart.
own mind
In his
rival.
own mind rival. And the story unfolds through his eyes and through his memories, and he's clearly in like an asylum. He's at the end of life, and he's like,
Well, he tried to He tried to kill himself.
He tried to-
he slit his own throat, which is pretty hardcore.
I don't mean to laugh, but like he is such an interesting and wonderful character, because he's like in many ways the bad guy in this film,
He
and
is.
in this story.
Yeah.
But he's
Which
also
is why
so
he tried to kill himself.
broken, and like, and you have to feel bad. You feel bad for him, right? Like you have to feel bad for him. Like
No,
no, you don't.
no, I don't. I mean, if he was just nice to Mozart and took Wolfie under his wing, and as opposed to doing everything he possibly could to try and ruin this man, both financially and romantically and work-wise, like if he didn't try to squash the art out of Mozart and they actually just worked together like they did at the end, he would have had a better life.
I guess maybe I'm just a pettier person, which is totally fair. I like the entire time I was watching it, all I could think was, how much would it really stink if you like were incredibly passionate and talented at something, and here is this like other person, and no matter
This
what
boy
you
wonder.
did, he was like just better than you, and you couldn't do anything about it, and you couldn't like, and even like he does try at certain points to like kind of be friendly with him, but Mozart's character is also so obnoxious. Like he's wonderful, but he's also just like young and immature and crazy and like
a little off his rocker.
Yeah, a little off his rocker.
Yeah.
But I immediately thought of like kind of all of the different, I don't know, like rivalries that existed through time. Also, like I, recently, like many people have been obsessively listening to Hamilton and some of these other, where it's just like there's these characters throughout history, these real people throughout history who who are good, solidly like good at what they do, but just are in like the intense shadow of these people who are brilliant, but damaged and like, and.
But I mean, again, in all fairness to poor Mozart, like he had his genius, but because this rude little Italian man, like that sounded like I'm mad at Italians.
Will be defended by Natalie, and the role of Salieri will be defended by Katie. All right, go ahead.
No, but Wolfgang struggled with money, he struggled with his art, he struggled to
with daddy issues, he struggled. Yeah, I mean,
his dad was the worst stage momager of all time, and like this guy just went out of his way to make sure that Mozart in the movie tried to be as poor as possible, as poorly off as possible. Like, it's, he tried at one point to steal his wife, but then his conscience got the better of him. And then he tried to steal his work, but then his conscience got the better of him. And on the man's deathbed, like Mozart's dying. And he's just like, no, keep going. Like, tell me what else I'm supposed to write down.
Yeah, tell me what, give me your music, give me your brilliance.
That is just rotten to the core.
I have to say there are two Salieri moments that I shouldn't find this funny, and I don't, maybe I just have a really sick sense of humor, and this is why I find them amusing, but I absolutely love, and I guess it's not like one specific moment, but a series of moments. So Salieri is telling his story to this priest that is in the asylum with him, who's listening, and the actor who plays this priest has almost no lines. Like he's just reacting to this story. He's like literally just the face and voice of the audience, basically. And as the story unfolds and Salieri's giddy excitement and like defensiveness and like all of his feelings are like coming out, you can see just like the horror and like misunderstanding of this priest. And the priest's facial reactions are as good as like how incredible the actor playing Salieri is. So like I love that. And then I do love so Salieri's character, and I don't know how accurate this is to real life. I assume probably fairly accurate, but he's very, very religious. He comes from this really religious family, and he's really struggling, or seems to be really struggling with this idea of like, why would God give him this, the ability and the passion for music, and then like not, and then put him in this situation where he's just like always second best and next to Mozart. I can't do it. And like, why does this happen? But he has like a cross hanging like with Jesus on it, like
a crucifix,
a crucifix with like the statue of Jesus on it. He takes it off his wall and throws it in the fire as he's still just like telling this crazed story and like is watching it burn. And it's so crazed and like psychotic, and his face and the moment in time in the movie when he does that is just like dark comedy at its best. Like it's so insane and over the top but also brutal that I love that moment where it's just like he's beside himself and it's just ludicrous and crazy. I don't know.
So it's interesting you bring that up. I was thinking because he's the narrator. Yeah. Salieri.
Yeah.
Right?
He's what do they call it? He's an unreliable narrator. Like obviously it's through his perspective. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I was going to say, because while we're watching the movie, like when it flashes back to when they were younger, and he's favored by the emperor. The emperor says that Salieri is the best composer of all time. Yeah. Yeah. What more did he want? Like he's making more money. He has a position with within like the royal like emperor's palace. He He has all the money, he has all the fame, he has all the acclaim. And Mozart is like, I'm gonna go across town to work on like a vaudeville for the poor people because I have no money and we're all gonna starve to death and die. Like,
He wants, I think
he wants his talent.
he wants
But
his
it's in his head that he's not good enough. Because in his time, according to the movie, in his time, he was better.
Well, yes and no, because there are those moments where, so at the very, very beginning of the movie, he like hums the music and like his own music. And the priest is like, oh, I don't recognize that. And then you know where it's going. And he hums some of Mozart's music. And the audience, as well as the priest, are like, oh, I know that. I know that one.
But
so like he isn't
it's like in his time, like in the time. So like after, when he's like, he looks awful. He could have been 70 when he was dying, but
who knows?
or 100.
Yeah.
He looked over 100. But it's like in his heyday, he was better.
Yeah.
And it's only like later, after Mozart's death and near his own death, that Mozart has become more famous in the movie. Like,
yeah. But then there's also those other moments.
He's salty for no reason.
I'm
blew it up in his own
I'm
head.
gonna keep defending him. I do love the actor who plays Mozart is phenomenal,
God,
and
brilliant.
Mozart is such an interesting character. But I will say that there are like 3 or 4 other moments, and again, it's an unreliable narrator. We're coming at it through his point of view, but there's the moment where Salieri works his way up. He's like he's already disappointed his father, who doesn't want him to do this. He's gone into music. He ends up working
Dad died,
for,
and then he goes and does it.
But he's like
He
clearly
thinks
been a
that God
disappointment.
granted that as a miracle.
Yeah, he's very dark. It's very dark humor.
Oh, dear
But
Lord.
he ends up working at like for the emperor. So as you said, he's got this like ridiculous job,
The cushy job, the salary.
But Mozart is the name, is the one that everyone is talking about, is the one that everyone's kind of like excited by. He's the celebrity. He's got like the fame.
Yeah.
And he's just like magically good. So there's like this moment where Salieri writes a piece of music for the emperor to play to welcome Mozart in. And of course, like Mozart is like in his own head and he's crazy. As Kathy's saying, maybe he was on the spectrum. Like he's just a little bit, bit off, right? Like he's coming in and he's like in his own head and he doesn't care about anything. And so, of course the emperor is like almost getting the song, but butchering it, and Salieri is helping. But there is like a moment where Mozart like comes in and plays the music, doesn't even need the music in front of him. He's just immediately memorized it, and he makes it quote unquote better. And like so there's he does. So there's that moment, and then there's a moment much later where Mozart watches one of Salieri's productions, and he like asks Mozart what he thinks of it, and he gives this line. I can't remember the exact line, but it's something like it was like very distincttly yours. Like every compliment.
He doesn't say that he likes
doesn't
it.
say that he likes it. Yeah.
He compliments it,
but it also could
profusely,
be an insult.
but without saying that it was good.
Well, like, you could take it as a compliment, or you could take 100%. It as an insult. So there are all these moments.
But Mozart was too nice to say that it was bad.
That's true. I guess you could take it either way. I suppose there's all these moments where it seems that all that Salieri really wants is for Mozart to think that
he's just as good as him.
He's just as good, or have him as a peer. And I think Mozart actually thinks that, like, think that he is a peer or a mentor. But it's
when Mozart is like on his deathbed, when Mozart's on his deathbed, he literally tells Salieri, he's like, I just want it to be like one of you guys, you know, I just wanted you guys to let me in, and you never did.
Yeah,
he's
exactly.
like, you guys treated me like garbage the whole time. And I know this. He's like, but I still love that you come to all of my performances. And he was like telling Salieri how good of a friend he's been when he's literally spent most of Mozart's adult life trying to ruin it. And Mozart's like, you're my bestie. Oh, poor Wolfie.
I do like the discussion question. I always generate discussion questions for us. Not that we ever need them, but just in case. And this one says, is Salieri truly the villain, or is he painfully relatable? So I love that you're like villain and I'm like relatable.
I think, well, because he's an unreliable narrator, he's narrating this like So we are meant to sort of feel for him, and like try to understand him more, and he's meant to be more relatable. But it's just the fact that Mozart was portrayed to be such just a genuinely like goofy and kind person and generous, like with his time, and the only like bad temperament he had is when he got lost in his art, and
even then,
that didn't help his relationship. And he's not doing anything horrible to anybody.
He's never really
other than his poor wife is a bit neglected, but
he mostly just withdraws into himself. He's not necessarily like, abusive or terrible to anyone else.
Yeah, exactly. And he'd rather not get paid than be less than what he can be, so it's that temperament is not necessarily the best to pay the bills or raise a kid or
well, it does,
or save your marriage. But
it does raise this like discussion, or at least it raises a discussion in my mind that it is this kind of conversation between the ordinary and the exceptional. And so like it's this idea of like a fine line between genius and insane, right? Where he's not able to really easily live in the normal world. Like he's so brilliant that he can't just function. Like he's got, he withdraws into himself. He's got like a clear vision that he needs to accomplish. And if he can't get there, then it's like, it's that or nothing. Like it. And so it's interesting because from Salieri's point of view, it's this like, almost like desperation to get above and beyond the ordinary. But then if you're looking at it from Mozart's point of view, it's like, oh man, this is so tragic and sad.
It's like they're almost in the poorhouse.
And how damaging it is to his poor wife, his child. Like, they all lose. Everyone that's around him loses everything, except obviously the people who inherit his music and his, and can appreciate his brilliance down the road. But it's a really fascinating story, and it definitely did get me thinking like throughout. I'm like, I wonder how many pairs of like people there are like this throughout history, where you have these like brilliant, crazy people, and how many of the other people who are in their world were like, how hard it would be to be around someone that is that brilliant. Like,
it made me think like how many geniuses and artists, like how many of these exceptional, extraordinary people have been taken advantage of throughout history. Like how many of them only succeeded posthumously, including Mozart. Well, not including Mozart in real life, but it's like implied in the movie, yes. But it makes me a bit sad that these people have such a talent that they want to share with the world. Like Mozart wants to share his talent with the world, and people kept trying to manipulate him, and that was sad. It was part of the tragedy, I find.
It is. It is like,
just wanted to have fun.
As much as I laugh, it is like it is an incredibly sad story from start to finish. That like, here is someone who just was never ever going to be able to live a normal life. And as you said, like in many cases, these people didn't, like, they had an advocate, a family member, a friend or someone.
Yeah, his wife was pretty badass. She's like, how are you going to pay him? When are you going to pay him?
Yeah, exactly. Like not even just in the moment. Like his wife does that in the moment and is trying to get by and is an advocate for him up until the very end. But typically it was
she tries to manage his talent.
Exactly. But it was also these people who had to like fight for their legacy as well. Because all of these genius characters die young and have these really sad stories, and it really in many cases is the wife or the family member or the close friends who have to keep the actual work, like whether it's art or music or what have you, top of mind in order for us to actually have these stories on the other side. So I don't know, sad from start to finish for sure.
Yeah. I forgot what I was going to say. I can't remember. My mind was like, and no.
I was gonna say, what's your favorite song on the soundtrack? But I don't know if I could name any Mozart songs. So I just couldn't. I just
Well, the
I can't
Emperor's
do it.
was not Figaro.
There you go. Not Figaro, yeah. I love Paul sharing some fun facts with us. He says, to prepare for some aspects of the title role, so Mozart, Tom Hulse studied footage of John McEnroe's on-court tennis tantrums. Yeah, it would be a hard character to play, and it is really interesting. So Tom Hulse was nominated for an Oscar for this movie. This movie ended up winning 8 Oscars in total. And every actor in this entire movie is brilliant. I hate saying that about Jeffrey Jones because that guy's an asshole, but they were all brilliant. Jeffrey Jones a little less so. The rest of everyone else did a phenomenal job. But Tom did. I mean, how he carries himself on screen was insanely captivating. I mean, his laugh in itself is great, but even just like the twinkle in his eye, the moments where he's in himself and is like clearly not even, aware of what else is going on around him. The direction in those moments is also phenomenal because when he's in his head, all you hear is the music and then the voice breaks through the music. So like you can tell that like when he's beside himself in his head, like he's hearing the music, and then he's got to snap out of it with the people talking. But yeah, just like, just phenomenal acting from start to finish. I can't think. His wife, the woman who plays his wife is like, again, she is wonderful from the very beginning. And like, they're both kind of childish and silly. And, she certainly becomes much, much more serious where he stays kind of childlike, throughout until really the bitter end, unfortunately. Yeah. But she's a phenomenal actress as well.
When he dies at the end of the movie, you see his wife has left because he's so consumed with. So he was hired by Salieri in a mask and torturously in the mask that his dead father wore at a masquerade ball that they had all gone to. And Salieri knows that Mozart had a very hard relationship with his father and that his father's passing had hit Mozart very hard because he wrote a whole opera about it. And Salieri felt that he was one of the only people that truly understood Mozart and that opera because he's obsessed with Mozart. and so he decides to don his dead dad's mask to threaten / hire him into writing what Mozart doesn't realize, but to write his own funeral opera. Which is
when you put
dark.
It that way, it's a little
it's so dark. Defend that, Katie.
I can't defend that point.
Okay, so Mozart's wife genuinely believes. So this is kind of where it's sort of the beginning, like the precipice of when he starts to have his downturn. Yeah. He's no longer functioning in society. He's
obsessively
no longer
trying to
working
work on this piece. Yeah. But it's not going
because
well.
He's also terrified. He's not even sure if this person who's giving him money is a ghost or not. To one point where his wife goes and answers the door and she's like, he's real. He's not a ghost. Like, this person is torturing you to death. And in the movie, when you see the wife leaves and like packs everything up, the kid and everything, and they leave for a little while, and she does come back right at the end. And we don't really know, like, he's performing his vaudeville performance, like at the vaudeville with his friends, and he gets sick and he collapses. And Salieri's there because he never misses a performance that Mozart has ever done. He whisks him home, and he's not actually at all taking care of him, just trying to get him to finish his death opera, which is like, it's so sick. He's on his deathbed. He's actively dying in front of Salieri, writing his own death opera without realizing it because he thinks his dead father is haunting him. Anyways, the wife believes that it was this this ghost that hired Mozart is what killed him. It drove him mad. It drove him over the edge, and it's what made him sick. And I like that the movie leaves that super ambiguous.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't really, like, we see he's just all of the sudden sick, which by all accounts, historically, that is kind of what happened. Like, he was like fine one day and then dead like a few days later. Like, he had very quick acute onset symptoms and passed away. But yeah, it's interesting that like they leave it in the film like, okay, he visibly had a fever and died, but was it because Salieri drove him to death, like to madness to death? So it's interesting.
Yeah, it definitely is interesting. And it's hard to say, because there were a bunch of articles that alluded to, or that said that in the movie Salieri had poisoned him. But you're right, I do think they keep it kind of vague on whether or not like any of that is actually.
I would have
like,
never
what
thought
is
that
happening.
he poisoned him.
Yeah, I definitely didn't see that either, but
I didn't see that happen. And I watched the director's extended edition. So like there's not a scene. There's not a scene in it where it seems like Salieri doesn't want him to die until he's done. Like, he talks about trying to figure out how to murder him.
Yeah.
but he doesn't know. I mean, and he does tell the priest in like their present time, like, I killed him.
Yeah.
But to me, I took it more as like, hey, I didn't physically kill him. I drove him to
death. Yeah.
To death.
Yeah.
Like, is how both like Salieri and the wife seem to believe that that's what happened.
Yeah.
In reality, it was probably strep throat or scarlet fever, I think, but they're not 100% sure. Well, it's not like they had like a rapid strep test back then, you know.
Let's get into it, because guess what we have today for everyone. So everyone can play along with us. We're gonna play fact or fiction. All right, are you ready? I'm not gonna post Paul's comment because he's giving away some of our answers. So fact or fiction. If you're hanging out with us live, you can drop the answers to this fact or fiction into the chat. But if you're playing with us later, you can don't look at the answers in the chat and just go forward. So the first question is, or the first fact or fiction is, Mozart had a ridiculous high-pitched giggle, just like in the movie.
I have no idea.
No idea. All right.
I know when my laugh gets a little out of hand, I still to this day say, "Oh, went a little Mozart there."
Yeah, I think we all go a little Mozart sometimes. At least the cool people. Here we go. We're gonna go a little bit Mozart. So fact or fiction. Fact or fiction.
I hope it's fact.
Yeah,
it's probably fiction. I hope it's fact.
All right,
I'm going with fact.
Here we're going over. It is fiction. He did have a great sense of humor, though, in real life, but there's no record of the laugh. But I do think that Tom has done something magical, and that now I just
my God, the laugh is iconic.
I assume that Mozart always has that laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think definitely he's got it. All right. Next one, we'll give a bit of time for everyone because I know they're on a delay. All right, well, here's the one. So Paul already has the answer for this one. Fact or fiction, Salieri poisoned Mozart. So you're thinking no, Nat.
It's neither. It's definitely not a fact, and it's not fiction. Like, it wasn't in the movie. Where did this come from?
Hard pass. Neither answer.
I mean, somebody made it up, but not the movie.
I love it. Well, we will. So I love this. Retro is saying, is the Rock Me Amadeus song in this movie? I had the same question.
No,
it's sadly not in this movie, but it did come out right after this movie. So like it was because of
a few years later, right?
Yeah.
So the movie was 80. The movie was 81, and the song came out 86.
84.
84.
The Broadway. So there was a Broadway production, and if anyone can find video clips to allow me to appreciate the production, there was a Broadway production, I believe in the UK, not a New York City Broadway production.
Yeah. A stage production
that included Sir Ian McKellen as Salieri, Tim Curry as Mozart. So like, please help me to find clips.
Amazing.
And Jane Fonda as Mozart's wife. And I was just like, what? We need this to have been recorded.
Somebody has to have filmed
please.
that.
I know it was 1980. I wasn't able to go. I wasn't alive yet, but I'm so sad. I'm
so mad I didn't get to see that.
I'm so sad. All right. Well, the answer to this one
fiction.
is fiction. And Paul's context says, in actuality, on the day that Mozart died, Salieri was several hundred miles away in Venice. He had nothing to do with Mozart's early death. It was gossip that spread after Mozart's death. So that's where some of this comes from. But historians agree that it was not
his
true.
wife probably figured out that he was the evil ghost and probably spread that rumor herself. She was badass enough to do that.
Is anyone else like this? So I was watching this movie and immediately I'm like, how much of this is true? Like my obsessive tendency is that anytime that there is a historical fiction anything, I need to know every single detail of the truth.
Yeah.
And I'm sad when things like don't match up in my mind. So
like right now in my brain, I'm thinking the priest who was there to, I guess, take confession from Salieri.
Yeah.
Is in an Austen adaptation, a BBC Austen adaptation. I can't remember which one and I can't remember what character he played. And it's driving me crazy. And do you know how bad I want to look that up? I don't even know the guy's name.
It's find outable. That's all find outable.
No, it's find outable. But I'm like, that's a predominant thought in my head as we're doing this podcast.
I love it. All right. Well, I'm
my
sure Paul will
obsession is
help
like,
us.
I need to know.
All right, fact or fiction?
Did he play Mr. Collins?
Maybe he looks like he could be a Mr. Collins, so I believe. Yeah. I believe it. All right, so did Mozart's wife outlived him by 50 years and helped to save his legacy? What do you think?
Fact.
Fact.
She did lots of promo for him, and that's why we know his music is because of her. And why do I know this?
True. She worked tirelessly to promote his music and make sure he was remembered as one of the greats, which again made me think, because at the end of Hamilton, again, I have no idea how much of it. Oh, actually, I did look up a lot of it, so I'm pretty sure a lot of this part was based on fact. But Eliza helped to promote Hamilton after his death as well. So let's hear it for the wives, man.
I think there was also like a biography that I don't know if she commissioned it but somebody wrote a biography of Mozart shortly after his death. It was something like weirdly like he was popular but not super famous yet, and somebody wrote a biography about him like within a few years after his death, something like that, like 10, 11, something like that. Anyways, it was just weird and notable, and it seems that it's because of her tireless work to promote his legacy.
You got that one. I don't know what you're up to at this point, but you're winning.
You know, it's funny when Katie messaged me earlier and she's like, we're going to do a fact or fiction quiz. And I was like, cool. I don't know anything about Mozart. Apparently that's not true.
You do.
Wow.
All right. He was broke or struggling for most of his life.
No.
Fact or fiction? No, you don't think he was broke or struggling?
No, I think he was quite wealthy. It's just he ended up having some debt at the end of his life that she had to deal with, but he was quite successful, I believe.
All right.
He actually did tutor people and not storm off because of the dogs. I think he made money.
Fiction. Amazing scene, but not real. His student, so you're right, Franz, finished the Requiem after Mozart died. So there was someone there to help finish off the really incredibly sad funeral music. So that's awful. All right. Fact or fiction? Mozart dictated parts of the Requiem to Salieri on his deathbed. That epic final scene.
No. Fiction.
No? You're saying fiction? Fiction?
Well, Paul just told us that he wasn't there.
Come on, Paul. Fact-ish? Fact-ish. Oh, whoops. I screwed this one up.
We missed them up.
This is the fact-ish from the last one.
Okay.
See. Oh, so this one. This is it. Okay, fiction. All right, so you are right.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
His student Franz finished it, and not Salieri.
Not Salieri.
And then the answer to the other one is that he did struggle financially, lived lavishly, and had money issues, but he was respected and popular, and not the outcast that the movie makes him seem.
Yeah, I think he had money. Now I'm curious. Do I have like a Mozart biography in my house somewhere that I've read at one point? Like what? Okay.
Fact or fiction? Salieri taught Mozart's son.
Which one?
I don't know. One
two, didn't we?
of them.
One in the movie.
The one in the movie.
The
first
I don't
one.
know.
The oldest.
I have no idea.
Want to take a guess? Fact or fiction?
Fact.
Fact.
That was a total guess.
Another
I mean, I had a
Franz.
50-50 shot.
Franz Xavier Mozart, proving that they weren't bitter enemies after all, or at least the son
Was he
didn't think
named
so.
after the student?
I don't
Because
know.
isn't the student, go back. The student was named Franz Xavier, wasn't he?
I have to. Now I screwed up the order. Then I gotta find.
So
there we
for
have
people listening, yes, Franz
Ah!
Xavier. Ha ha ha. Susmeyer?
Susmeyer.
Susmeyer. That's a
know.
cool name.
That is a cool name.
So obviously he must have been close, very close with Mozart, because Mozart named one of his kids after him.
I guess. And he finished the
Nice.
Requiem. All right, last
nice.
one. Hopefully I didn't screw this one up as well. Let's see. All right, fact or fiction. I'm not gonna get this guy's name right. Miloš Forman didn't want big name stars, so people would focus on the story and on the music.
I would say fact, because Mark Hamill, according to our ticker tape at the beginning of the episode, was not even allowed to audition.
He wasn't, and I was about to Google like Mark Hamill audition tape, and then I remembered, and I was like, "This is very upsetting."
Which, interestingly enough, I find this actor does have a slight look of
He is Mark Hamill-esque. Yeah.
Mark Hamill. Yeah. They have he has
You're
some
right, by the
similar
way.
features. Oh, yes.
Way
Yeah,
to
Tom
go, way to go.
Hulse has some sort of Mark Hamill-ish features, I find. They
Yeah.
could be cousins.
They definitely could be cousins. So we need to talk a little bit about Oscars. So this movie won 8 Oscars in total. They include Best Picture, Best Actor, Director, Screenplay, Costume, Sound, Art Direction, and Makeup. All deserved, in my humble opinion.
The
But
costuming
costuming,
and the set design.
the wigs, and the
There's
harpsichord.
certain scenes.
Yeah.
Like certain scenes, the masquerade when he's playing the little like mini piano, whatever those are
Harpsichord.
called.
It's called a harpsichord.
That is the harpsichord.
I say this with
Correct.
this level of
Great
drama
brain.
because literally in the movie they were playing it and I was like, "It's so cool, Dane. Look at the black keys." And he's like, "That's a harpsichord." And I was like, "What is a harpsichord?" I had to look it up.
Thank
And
you, Dane, for
they
facting us
are
up.
very different. And then we had a lot of
Yes.
debate as to whether or not there were both pianos and harpsichords in this film. So I could totally be wrong in all of it, but some are harpsichords and some are pianos. And it comes down to the sound, of which I'm not musical, so I could not tell you at all. But anyway, do continue.
Yeah,
There's a tiny
so
harpsichord
that
piano.
scene, he's like playing it like upside down and blindfolded and hands crossed over and all of this. But the scene, it's the costumes, the masks, the amount of candles, like the on fire candles, like in these scenes were just completely crazy.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. Like the whole movie was visually stunning. Like each stage performance they did, especially Mozart's, the costuming and the stage setup was shockingly beautiful.
Yeah.
I especially loved his vaudeville performance, his last performance, and the woman who was like the moon or something, or
Yeah.
a star. Like that whole set was gorgeous, and I'm like, I'd love to go see an opera now with that stage set. Like, sign me up. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can for sure they won that.
Well, what I find crazy is that Tom Hulse, who plays Mozart, lost the Best Actor to F. Murray Abraham, who plays Salieri, which I think is nuts that two best actors were nominated from the same movie. I wonder how often that actually happens.
I don't know that I would have said he was better or not, but also it could just be that I don't really like him, which means maybe he was better at his job.
Does this mean that I win? I feel like I win. No, I actually think Tom Hulse is a better actor. Like, I think it would have been harder to play Mozart. I just liked Salieri's character a lot because he's so.
Oh, I love the character.
I just sort of saw. I don't want to say I saw myself in him because, as you said, he's evil. But there's something I am very. this is going to sound worse than I mean it, but like I am a solidly average person. I'm like good at lots of things, but I'm not brilliant or Mozart level incredible at anything. And so for me, I'm kind of like, I get it, Salieri.
That's not true.
I understand.
Fun fact about Katie, she's a brilliant actress. She just doesn't do it anymore. Fun fact number 2 about Katie, she's a brilliant writer, and we keep trying to force each other to start writing again, which we haven't done in quite a while. But
that's true.
You are brilliant.
I don't
finished
feel
a book
brilliant
yet.
I feel like Salieri, where I'm just like looking at other people and I'm kind of like, I don't like you. Why are you better than me? Yeah, I just thought that was wild that they competed against each other, which would have been such a strange feeling.
Both for the lead role.
Yeah,
I could see that. I guess.
I mean, one of them won, so I guess that's kind of exciting.
That is very exciting. I like that.
Well, to make you feel even better, some additional fun facts. This movie was shot almost entirely in Prague, which has been high on my list of places I want to go to, in authentic opera houses. So when we go,
that's amazing.
To go to the authentic opera houses.
So one thing I had told Katie about earlier before coming on was that one thing that kind of takes me out of this world is the random, very American accent here or there in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not everybody was like we say North American accent.
Yeah.
Okay. And it just takes you out because of the time period, and it takes place in Europe. And I was like, why couldn't they just hire a bunch of Europeans? And I'm like, maybe because it was filmed in America, and it wasn't. So, and like, obviously the casting was brilliant, but all right. Yeah. Okay. I have no reasoning for it. It just happened that way.
Me as much this time. I can't remember if it
No, it doesn't. Like, it just takes me out of the moment sometimes a bit, because I was like, oh, right. Like, because that accent would not have existed in Vienna at the time.
No.
But I'm like, okay.
Well,
but obviously, this is one of my favorite movies, so it doesn't really matter.
Here you go. This just in from Paul. So I didn't have this on my list. Paul says that the director insisted his lead actors retain their American accents so that they could concentrate on their characters and performances instead. Well, I think that did work.
But that makes sense. It did. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
It did work. Did you know that the wig and costume budget was nearly $1 million in today's money? Which
that makes sense.
Fair. Also, I wanted wigs. All of it. I don't even really particularly like wigs, but they were just fun. I wanted all of it. The weird like busty dresses, which I'm normally not a fan of. Really enjoyed that. I loved the like. The at one point Mozart is wearing like a lavender like satiny jacket. I was like, yes, let's just.
It was a full suit.
I know, but
it was the full suit. The shoes matched the jacket. Like, it was beautiful. It was so over the top.
Clothes. I want to wear them like once a year. I would like once a year to have the option to wear ridiculously over the top fancy clothes and attend like a masquerade ball. I would like to do these things.
If you haven't seen the movie, think Marie Antoinette as far as the costumes go. Yeah. Which, funny enough, the emperor in this is like my cousin, Marie, out in France, is like scared for her life.
Yeah, like accurate.
Because of civil unrest. And it's like, that happens.
Well, I can't say, like, usually we ask whether or not like a movie holds up or doesn't hold up. I feel like movies that are set in like a really specific time, like this one holds up. There's no not hold up. It's again like a tale as old as time, in that it has all of the like jealousy and drama and, you know, and crazy laughter and wigs and harpsichords. So, I mean, how could it not be relevant?
And the romance.
And romance. Yeah. So I think this one is still a solidly good watch. And even if you don't, I have to say, like, I'm not even like I like music. I can't say that I don't like music, but I'm not like I'm not overly musical. It's classical music is not necessarily my jam. I don't I do like an opera or an operetta, but it's not like, I am not the kind of person who would like be obsessively into this movie, and yet there is something really captivating about it. So if you're like, I don't know, Katie, Amadeus, really, it really is actually quite a fantastic movie. And I did have a few friends who reached out and were like, this is one of my favorite movies. I was like, there you go. Look at that. So it is.
It has everything.
It has everything. Exactly. It has absolutely everything. I need to add this fun fact in for all of us. So Mozart apparently did have a playful and crude sense of humor. His letters are apparently full of like poop jokes and other ridiculousness.
Which he does make a lot of like poop fart jokes
function jokes
in the movie too, so it's cute.
Yeah, so I kind of like that someone who like when you think of Mozart or like any of the like famous composers, you sort of picture them as being these like old crotchety men in wigs and like they're really super formal, and so I kind of love that Mozart isn't and wasn't. I think it's fantastic. I think that it's great that
how old was he when he passed away?
35, apparently died at 35 of illness, and they think it was likely strep or rheumatic fever. So
scarlet fever. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and apparently the Requiem was commissioned by Count Franz von Walsegg, not Salieri, although the mystery of who commissioned it was fueled gossip for centuries.
Ooh.
Let's see if there's any other fun facts I missed here.
He had 2 kids, two boys. I think he had more than that, but I think only 2 survived. People died pretty easily.
Pretty easily back then. Salieri did spend his final years with declining health and dementia, and rumors spread that he had confessed to poisoning Mozart, but he and his friends did end up denying it, and most historians agree that it was never true.
Yeah.
One
thing I had to look up was at the end of the movie, they seem to put him in this a common grave. And it was just common practice back then. Only aristocrats had specific graves and headstones and all of that. Yeah. And everybody else just got put in like one. Yeah. Like in the cemetery. But though apparently Mozart, I think, was not, like, that's just fiction for the movie. I think he does actually have his own proper grave. Because I think he was technically an aristocrat.
Yeah, it does seem like he was an aristocrat. Sorry, I'm just going through. It says he was very much celebrated throughout his life, although not universally adored. His works were never considered immortal masterpieces until after his death and due to his wife working to elevate his reputation. But it says that he was well respected in his time, and many aristocrats admired his work. So, oh, there you go. Paul's on it today. So he says, by decree of Emperor Joseph II in 1784, common graves were unmarked and excavated for reuse after 10 years. As a result, Mozart was unable to locate the grave. Only 17 years later, his wife was unable to locate it. He is shown being buried in a mass grave. This was not the common practice at the time. A common grave was not a communal grave, but rather an individual grave for common people. Got it.
Okay.
Got it. Learn something new every time we dive into the 1700s. And here we are in the 1700s. Well,
like, there's a difference between a mass grave and a common grave. I knew that, but specifically, thank you, Paul.
Let's get real here, okay? Let's get real. Well, we've gotten to the end of the episode, which means that all we have left is our rating and review of this one. If you're hanging out with us live, you can drop your rating and review. And again, if you've seen it, you can rate based on how much you like or didn't like it. And if you haven't seen it, rate on how much we've been able to convince you that you should watch this one.
You should watch it. If anything, just for the laugh.
For the soundtrack. You have no idea how much we even love Mozart, but you do. You know the songs. You know them. You love them. They're here. Well, I went 5 on this one. I just think it's a solid movie.
Agreed.
It won 8 Oscars. That's like, I mean, that's not quite Titanic numbers, but pretty darn impressive. And yet no one really talks about this movie. Like, it's not.
Well, I mean, it's been a minute.
It's
like,
but it's not
over 40 years old, right?
I know, but like,
or it is 40 years old.
Yeah, a lot of these other movies get like a big like resurgence, or people talk about this all the time. And it was the version that I watched was certainly like digitally remastered and was a kind of taken up, but it doesn't get as much acclaim given how many Oscars it won and kind of how popular it was at the time. Andrew was saying, meh. not really his thing. That's fair. That's fair, Andrew. You can you can math this one. That's all good. And Paul is
It's
saying
one of the ones like I
5.
mentioned.
Yeah.
5 harps.
Yeah, 5 harps, 5 harpsichord pianos.
Every time I mentioned like this week, I was like, oh yeah, this week we're going to be doing Amadeus. Everybody's like, oh, I love that movie. And I was like, oh, okay.
I know. I was kind of surprised.
Because like you said, it's not something that people really talk about,
Yeah. I was
but
like, oh,
it
you
seems
know
that
this
it's something that everybody really liked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that laugh,
The
that
laugh.
iconic laugh that he does, everybody, like a lot of people know that and will recognize that.
Yeah. Andrew saying my dad likes it, but he's an old music person. Fair enough. We are old music people here. Apparently, I was amazed. I love the moment where he's humming the music, and I was like, oh, that's Mozart. I know that. Look at me. I know that. Well, we got to the end of episode 99, which is wild, which means that next week, which is September 11th, we are going to be back here, 9 p.m. Eastern on YouTube for episode 100, which is insane to us. It's going to be ET, so it's already going to be wild and some fun. We're going to do some live giveaways. We're going to play a few more games. Who knows what we have in store. We're going to go all in on ET episode 100. And then we have some other fun episodes planned and like scheduled and ready to go on the other side of it. So get ready for us for some craziness. We're going to talk cult classics. We're going to get into some spooky season stuff. We're all in for an amazing rest of year. But thank you so much to all of you for always coming out with us and leaving amazing comments when you catch it on replay and sending us emails and social posts and all of that. Josh says, Muppet Flail. Yay!
Oh, Kermie.
So we're ready for Muppet Flail excitement level for ET next week. So excited to hear how many people like love that movie. If you were scared of that movie, if you hate it, if you don't get it, if you're like, what the heck? We'd love to know everything about it. So let us know what you think and be sure to hang out with us live for some fun adventures along the way. Well, good choice, Nat. I think Amadeus,
Thank you.
Not that I was skeptical, but you said it and I was like, right, I did like that one.
Right? It's one of those, it's like once you mention it, it's like, oh yeah. Like that movie.
That movie. Yeah, I haven't seen that one in a while. Yeah, it was.
I mean, it's a solid 3-hour movie, so it's not something like you just pop on for nostalgia reasons, Like it's
you know what
I did watch.
I did, and I really thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm holding strong to my 5 potatoes, which is probably way too high, but I don't even care. I'm keeping it.
I don't think so.
You can fight me. You can all fight me.
I'm in on the 5.
Josh says that his mom saw it when it first came out, but it didn't appeal to her, even though she loves classical music. Josh and Andrew are like, no, I don't know. But Paul's with us. We've won Paul over. So this episode,
I love classical music. I don't know. We listened to it a lot growing up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if there was a reason behind it, or my parents just liked it, and also I did ballet, so a lot of classical music.
We listen to a decent amount of classical music, and I love so I'm a huge gigantic Gilbert and Sullivan fan, so I love an operetta. I don't think I've actually seen all that much opera. That's been on my list for something that I've wanted to do for a long time. So lots of opportunities to get out and see more of it, but. Good choice, Nat. And we will see everyone for episode 100 next week, September 11th, 9 p.m. Eastern. And then back to regularly scheduled programming for all of the things that you will want us to review that we've been ignoring. So we'll get back. We'll get back to that on the other side. But thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Walking the scene with